Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Recipes for Success. Today, we are going to be talking about test taking strategies. And if you have issues taking tests or anxiety, we're going to give you some great tips. And today, to take you along this journey, is one of our wonderful tutors who is Philip Effion, and he is over all the student tutors at several campuses. And so give him your time and everything, and he will give you some wonderful ideas.
Thank you so much, Jenna. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. Good afternoon, all. Uh, Welcome to this seminar on test taking strategies. We are aware some of us are already getting anxious concerning the quiz and the test that's coming up, a new semester. Many of us have been away from school for a while, and we are wondering, what do we do? How do we handle the test? So this seminar is to help us, to guide us on some of the ways that can help us when it comes to test-taking strategy. As earlier, my name is Philip Effiong. I will be taking this training. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at the end of this training. The goal of this seminar is to prepare us, prepare you for upcoming exams and quiz so that you have the tools in your hand to be able to ease the test anxiety. As we're all aware, tests comes with a lot of anxiety, and it comes from our state of our mind. The mind controls everything that we do. This morning, I have a student that came in to me, and he told me that he has a quiz today, and he was already very anxious. So I needed to calm him down, to talk to him, and pass this information to him, how he can better handle this test. So at the end of today, he should be able to know how to handle this. Let's start with introduction. Like I said before, a test comes with anxiety, either because we have been away from school for a while, or we are just coming after a long holiday, we're taking classes we are not very used to. Either it could be face-to-face class or online class, whichever one it is, it comes with a lot of anxiety. And so the purpose of this seminar is to help us and how we can overcome this anxiety. The first thing we need to do is that in our mind is that adequate preparation always help to reduce anxiety levels, either with tests or exams or homework, which ultimately will lead to success. So adequate prep is a key when it comes to reducing anxiety. Now let's talk about how to overcome test anxiety. The first thing we need to do as we prepare for our test, we need to establish a pre-testing routine. Know what you are expected in the test. You need to learn how to relax during the test. We need to learn how to fuel our brain with healthy meals at this time. It is advisable to avoid food that are sugary, that may pick our sugars up and affect us during the test time, thereby increasing level of anxiety. That drinks such as caffeine or any caffeinated drinks. If possible, it is good for us to exercise in the morning, preferably aerobic before we go into the test. Now, if all this doesn't work, it is also advisable to talk to your teacher. If your level of anxiety is very high, we may also offer some useful tips on how you can overcome anxiety during your test. Now, let's talk about what tip before a test. What do you do? We have a test coming up next week. We have an exam coming up in 2 weeks' time. What do we do before the test as a student? The first thing that is try to get enough sleep the night before the test so your mind can be as sharp as possible. That's the first thing you need to do. When you get enough sleep, like I said before, you study in advance. Study in advance with your peer groups, with tutors, either virtual or in person, before the test, really help to have a good understanding of the material you'll be tested on. I said it before, a student came to me this morning. He was extremely anxious. So I told him, let's go over the materials. We went over the materials that he has. And after going over with him, explaining those things to him one more time, he was very relaxed. And he told me with confidence that he's going for the test. So studying do help. Research shows that our professors typically bring 90% of similar questions in the test review, particularly in mathematics courses. So they definitely bring something similar. So if you have a review, you have something the teacher has been doing in the class, it's a good time to take it and study those things that are in group, or you come to the tutoring center for help. You don't have to wait to the last minute to study the reviews and instruction. Don't do that. We're still talking about what you're supposed to do before the test. Prepare everything that you need in advance during the test. Make sure you have your pens, pencil, calculator, if you're allowed to use a calculator, ready before the test. You don't go into the test and start looking for calculator or pencil. No, that is not advisable. If the test is in the classroom, make sure you get there on time. Ensure you have a few minutes before the exam starts so you don't miss anything or important instruction your instructor may be sharing at the time. So make sure you get those, make sure you be there on time. Don't just rush in there, get there on time, and be sure to be part of that before the test starts. Do a knowledge check, a mental check before you answer any question. You can use the back of your test sheet and write down anything you are afraid you are going to forget, maybe like formulas, techniques that you are used to, or something you discuss with your tutor that can make you remember some few things. You can write them at the back of your test. That can help a lot before the test. Now after that, let's talk about what happened to you when the test have started. During the test, and you still find yourself extremely anxious. Take a deep breath 3 times. It helps before starting the test. Take a few minutes to preview and review your test. Don't be in a hurry to start writing down before you start answering the question. Check the question you have. How many questions are in the test? What type of question is included? What is covered? And remember to read the instruction thoroughly and well in advance so that you don't miss out anything. Let me go over that again. Remember to read your teacher instruction well in advance and thoroughly so that you don't miss out any information during the test. Remember to time yourself and plan how long to spend on each question. For example, an essay question that is worth 50% should actually occupy more of your time than a shorter answer that is probably worth 10%. So you spend more time with the weight of the question as compared to other time. So look at the time, this takes 1 hour. Plan with the 1 hour, if it's 1 hour, 30 minutes, which is most of the time. If it's 30 minutes, you walk around that time and spend on that time. If your professors allow a cheat sheet, like a formula book, and some of you that are doing Math 1324 or Math 1342, that's a lot of formulas, like finance math and all that. If the teachers allow you to use a cheat sheet, then make sure that you use it. But always clarify, please. Clarify from the professor if you're allowed to use it. Most professors allow it, some don't. So make sure you clarify that so that will not be taken as exam malpractice. So always read each question carefully to make sure you understand it. Look closely whether a question asks which option does meet the criteria or which option does not meet the criteria. That can be confusing at times. So you need to read the question carefully, so you don't make a mistake. And at the end of the test, you find out that you didn't read the question very well. Now, this is very important. Always begin with the question you know first. If you have 10 questions and number 10 is the one you know the best, there is nothing wrong to start with number 10. There's nothing wrong because that breeds level of confidence to you. Don't start the test with the question you are struggling with. That will bring to some frustration. And probably you may not even be able to answer the question you even know. So begin with the question you know first, skip that you don't know, and come back at the end to answer it. Then review the entire test and answer the skip question. Maybe you don't know them with an educated guess. Create an outline for essay question and avoid starting with complex medical questions. Like I said earlier on, always begin with the question you are familiar with. It is a key, it helps with level of confidence. We are still talking about strategies during the test. I found a lot of students going to the test. Test is 1 hour, in 10 minutes they are done. No, don't rush. Do not rush. Use all the test time if you have time. Go over, rework, and review your answers at the end. Review the whole test. Be careful. Don't erase the correct answers and make them incorrect. Your first instinct is typically always the best. Make sure you take all the time to review your test. Don't be in the hurry. It's your academic journey you are in now. So do not rush to finish. Use the time if you have one to work on the test. Ask the instructor to explain any items that are not very clear. In doing that, you are not asking the instructor for the answers. You are just asking for explanation of a question that doesn't look very clear. Then if the question still doesn't seem clear to you, then use the margin to help figure out if the question does not seem clear or if the answer seems ambiguous. Always circle keywords in difficult questions. This will force you to focus on the central point. Try to express some difficult question in your own word, especially for those in math, question that has to do with applications, real life situation. Express them in your own situation. That may help you to help answer that question. But when you are rephrasing it, make sure that you don't change the entire meaning of that question. Okay, while you're doing that. The purpose of that is to help you to be able to answer that question. Now, there are some questions that can be very true and false questions you may see as well in your test. Remember, the basic idea behind true or false question is simple. It consists of a single statement. Your job is to decide whether it is true. What makes the choice more difficult is that to be true, a statement must be 100% true. So there's some word that can help you to understand whether the statement is true or false. Research have found that statements containing certain words such as are generally false, like all, only, always. Because statements containing other words such as the following are generally true, none, generally, usual. So those words like that tells you this question is either false. Those words also tell you this question is either true. So it's something you have to work on. If you still know the answer, you can use guess. Unless the scoring formula is right minus wrong, in that case, never guess. If true false test, your first hunch is usually correct. Don't change an answer unless you are sure of the change. If any part of the statement is false, it means the whole statement is false. Okay, so this can also help us to guide us when it comes to true and false statement. Now, after the test, what do? Ask your instructor if you can review your test to see how you did. So most instructors may not allow you, or some do allow you. Notice what you got wrong or right. If your professor say yes, then review all the questions that you were missed, and if possible, bring it to the tutoring department, help you to check why you missed this, why you missed that. That will help you the next test or the next exam if it was a quiz. See how you can make changes to your study routine to do better. Talk to your instructor. Talk to your instructor on how you can better your text next time. So if the instructors allow you to review, feel free to come to us. We are here to help you to review it and make sure that you do well in your next test. Finally, we believe that if you adopt this strategy during your test or exam, it will definitely help you to perform successfully. You'll be on your way to obtaining an excellent grade. You don't have to be worried about anxiety if you follow this pattern. And at this point, I want to wish you good luck in your coming quiz or your coming test. But before then, we want to talk about some of the resources that are available that you can make use of. We have Academic Success Center and Virtual Academic Success Center. Maybe you are new, you have not been here. Academic Success Center is where you come in face-to-face and look for a tutor, and that will help you with any of the subject that you need. Then if you don't want to come in face-to-face, you can do it virtually as well from your home using Teams. So this way you can get help at any point in time. We have 3 options you can do this. Like I said before, you can come in person in any of our locations by calling the number 713-718-8184 during the hours at the location. Or you can do it via Team, virtual, or you can also use Upswings and submit your homework as well. So 3 ways this could be done. All is for you to be able to pass your class. This you can access through using your mobile, or you can also go to our website, HCC Tutoring, that you're going to see all the information that you need there. And like I said before, you can get help virtually, get help on campus. Now, for you to get a help, for those who have not used that before, what you just need to do is to call this number. Let me repeat the number again, 713-718-8184. When you call the number, someone will pick the call. The person is going to ask you what kind of help you need. For example, if you need math, and the person will ask you what kind of math you want. Ask for your student ID and your name. Then ask for your time. Then they'll schedule an appointment for you. You can either come face-to-face in any of the location, or you can do it virtually from your home within the time that you choose to work on. And it's free. It's available Monday through Saturday. We work Monday through Thursday, 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 p.m. in the evening. Then on Friday, we close at 4, 8 to 4. Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So these are the times that are available. You can schedule your appointment. You can also come in there physically. You can walk in. You can also walk in. You can also accept walk-in. You can also walk in and we'll attend to you. So these are what we have to share with you this afternoon. Any question, please?
I did put a flyer for tutoring in the chat that you can download and look at that has a QR code that takes you to their website and the phone number. No, I did type the phone number into the chat. I also placed a URL link for upcoming events. Like we have bingo tonight, caricatures tomorrow on Friday afternoon, and it's all free to students. I also placed in the chat for coming, you get a free t-shirt. So you can fill out the t-shirt form and we will mail it to you. And then there's also a survey that you could take and tell us how we did. And then at the end of August, you'll be put in to a drawing to win a free power bank that we mail to you. So please fill out those forms and check us out for more online free fun events. We also have more recipes for success coming up next week on, I believe, let me look, what day? Next week we have How to Win at Math on Tuesday the 3rd, and we have Learn How to Learn Metacognition on Wednesday the 4th. And then I do believe on the 5th is How to Use AI Ethically in the Classroom. So thank you for coming to Test Taking Strategies. Remember, tutoring's always there to help. Make sure you check them out. And there's also Upswing if you want to upload your papers. And check them out, get help, before you need help. And make sure you have a successful semester here. Thank you all for coming. We will see you at our next event, and y'all have a great week. Thank you, Philip.
Thank you, Jenna. Thank you all.
Good night.
Good night, Jenna. See you next week.
Okay.